Hi, Audrey. Thanks for being on time.
I think you can just send me to the audience because I'm not the speaker.
Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna do it.
Thank you.
Hi, Audrey. Hi, Elena. I don't know if you can hear us yet.
Yes, I can hear you guys. Girls.
Hi, Elena.
Sorry.
Can you turn on your camera, Elena?
Yes.
Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining. So the room is public. All right.
Oh, great. Okay. Do we have all of our speakers here yet? We have Maria, Audrey, and Elena. Are we waiting for anybody else?
Yeah, we're waiting for Evie. She's going to join shortly.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and I will call.
All right. Hello, welcome everybody to this panel on the NFT market's gender gap. We're going to be having a very interesting conversation from some powerful women in the space. I'm really excited to hear your opinions, ladies, about all of what is going on in the world today with NFTs and whether we're seeing any motion and any movement forward. So for the audience, I'm just going to let you know that we have an emoticon button at the bottom. We invite you to share your responses to what the speakers are saying by clicking on that button at any time. And we will be having questions at the end of this panel in the gallery. So I'm going to invite everybody to go to the gallery afterwards. Yes, thank you for using the emoticon, Maria. So I'll just be surprised. There we go. So you can express your emotion by clicking on that. At the end, we're going to move into the gallery. So at that point, everybody will be able to ask questions. So please save your questions for the end. And while we're waiting for the room to fill up, I also want to let you know, apparently, I think we have all of our speakers. Is Evie here? Yes, hi Evie, welcome. Evie, hi, okay, great. I was gonna ask you to turn on your camera. Can you just say something so we see if we can hear you? And same for Maria.
Hi, Evie Phillips
everyone.
here with
Great.
Creeds Collective. Oh, sorry.
Great, that's fine. I know it's a little crowded on the couch there, but thank you for finding a good place to sit. So again, for the audience, welcome to our panel today on the market's gender gap in the NFT space. For those who just came in, please share your responses with the emoticon button at the bottom, the happy face. And I invite everybody to join the Discord channel. You can find the link to the Discord channel. I think it's on Ina's profile. Ina, are you here?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Everybody
so
just click on my profile and there is an active link to our Discord channel. If you click on it, you will be redirected right there.
Perfect. All right, so today with my very impressive panel of powerful women, we are going to be talking about whether there is a gender gap in the NFT space and also what we can do about it. So I'm really looking forward to the conversation, and I invite each of our panelists to introduce themselves. Evie, let's start with you.
Wonderful. Hi, my name's Evie Phillips, and I am the CEO and founder of Creeds Collective. We're a creative agency and business consultancy, working with a myriad of brands in everything from fashion to beauty, and helping them acclimate and get into the metaverse via NFT projects and campaigns. And I am the former CMO and co-founder of NFT Club, which is an NFT platform built on Bitcoin, really interrupting name, image, likeness for celebrities to create metaverse fan bases and access tokens.
Amazing. All right, let's go with Audrey next.
Hi, I'm Audrey Nesbitt, and I have been in the marketing at a CMO role in cryptocurrency since 2016, 2017, including with some of the amazing women on this panel, proud crypto chicks, member with Elena Sinokova, who is an amazing innovator in the space, and with our panel host, Lisa Loud of Fluidify. Very proud to be joining the Fluidify team. And I've written a couple of books on go-to-market strategies for emerging tech, especially in the cryptocurrency space. And we'll be releasing one in the next few months on Web3 marketing.
Wow, great. And thank you for that teaser about Elena. Elena, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Lisa. My name is Elena Sinelnikova. I am wearing actually two hats right now. I am the co-founder of CryptoChicks and on the board of director of CryptoChicks, and so basically kind of like directing all the operational team right now, where to go, what to do. And also I am the CEO of Metis team. Metis, this is the Web3 decentralized platform and optimistic rollup on Ethereum.
Great.
And actually other ecosystems as well. So we are right now multi-chain. So these are the two my hats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think both Fluidify and Metis are really exciting projects in this space. Metis is really working on the DAO space. I'm watching very closely, especially as DAOs become more important. Yes, and Maria, please introduce yourself as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Tokareva. I am an artist at Mixfre. We launched our NFT collection last year and we're soon launching our second collection. We want to spread awareness of the gender gap in the space, and we want to bring more women into the NFT space and share the words that every day is the best day ever, that love is real and that magic happens.
Great. All right, thank you so much, ladies. Let's start right in, and I want to ask you a bit of a maybe an interesting question. We'll call it interesting. Do you think there's a gender gap, or is this just, is it just something that we're imagining? Anyone, feel free to volunteer to answer the question first. And if not, I'll call on you.
I can start. I think there's actually there's a lot of women coming into the space, especially on the NFT side, which is great. The NFT side has kind of opened it up to more mass adoption, so to speak. But I do still see gender gaps in the infrastructure, blockchain startups, and in a lot of those. And I think it's still there. I think there's still a big bros club on those projects, and I really couldn't explain why, but I do still see that there is a gender gap on those projects.
So if there's a gender gap, where is it most obvious? And Audrey, you shared your opinion about where you see it. Where is it most obvious? Let's start with that. Elena, do you have some thoughts about that?
The obvious, okay, so it's basically probably connected with what traditional industries have gap in, and that's was in majority was the tech industry that have gender gaps. So blockchain started as the tech industry. Right now, of course, it's evolved more into ecosystem industry, into community, and then we see, of course, this gender gap is closing. But we still have the gap, for example, that I see lots of our partners, the CryptoChicks partners right now that are hiring, that are trying to hire more technical roles. They all want to have women, and that is the biggest challenge for them right now, to hire women developers, to hire women that are, the project managers, to hire people that are technically probably savvy and technically strong. So this we still have a gap in that. Not sure if we're going to resolve it, because traditional industry wasn't able to resolve it. It's still a gap, and I'm not sure if we need to do it, because women naturally go to where their interest is. If they're not interested in tech and technology as much, like, why do we push them? But I'm really glad to see that now in an NFT space, I don't think we have this gap anymore.
Evie, what do you think?
Yeah, I can chime in. I didn't mention this in the intro, but I also am a founding board member of Crypto Connect, and it's a women-led meetup in education, representing several cities throughout the US. And we've had this conversation so frequently. I think that there is a gender gap. I agree with Elena that, you know, we saw it in the tech industry. I've worked in the tech industry for, oh, wow, I guess now it's about a decade, and you see it frequently still to date. I think from speaking as a founder of companies and organizations and things of that nature, I always find it in the leadership roles and actually co-founders and founders where there's a big gender gap. And I'm not talking about, a women-led, creating something that is, either women-led or completely women-founded. I'm talking about, partnering up with other men in the industry and them bringing on a co-founder and or a fellow founder, however you want to splice it, and them being in a leadership role, standing shoulder to shoulder with, the bros, if you will. And so I think that's where I see it most as I believe an issue, because I think it's good to have balance. We all know on this call, listen, I can credit a lot of wonderful in business that have given me a way up, and so I'm in no manner a man hater or anything of that nature, and wonderful, obviously, women, we band together and we stick together, and I love that, and I think that it's one of those things where to have a really great, I believe, founding team, you do need a balance of gender. Because our brains function differently. There are different strengths that a woman brings to a founding team. And so that's kind of my take. I think as we saw in the tech industry a lot, you started seeing women come out sort of down the line and create these amazing products. And I think we're going to start seeing more of that. Women founders being the founder and then having male counterpart founders. But I would like to see that today. I don't think we need to go out and found a company in order to join a founding board,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love what you said. And actually I agree with all three of you who've spoken so far. There's some challenges, and yet we do have allies, and it's not about blaming anybody for what the situation is. It's about finding the best ways to move forward. Maria, as a creator, what is your perspective on this question?
Okay, so what I see the biggest gender gap as an artist is that there is a little bit of lack of information or access and resources for some people to understand how can they participate and be a part of the Web3 space, the NFT space. So for me, the solution would be to create more groups of women who gather together, who have conversations between each other, who hang out and who create together. So
how would you do that? How would you create those spaces?
Well, we're doing it right now as we're gathering women in a space to speak. So more events, digital events like this, also in real life events where you can see each other, face to face and to interact, because there's a different way of creating in the physical world. So I would say more women-led events where they teach you and they, like, for example, let's create an event where each one of us invite 5 people who want to be a part of the NFT space, but they don't know, they have never, they just heard about it, but they don't know anything about it. So it's easier to learn where somebody talks to you about something, it's more fun. If you're interacting, you're getting to know someone, and at the time you're learning something new. So I feel like that's one of the ways that we can teach each other and create spaces where we invite people that want to participate and to ask questions and to make them feel welcome, to know that there is nothing that you can't ask that would be like silly, like any question is valid.
So safe spaces where people can experiment and not feel like they're an outsider.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Let me ask you, all of you, we're talking about the obvious, the big barriers, technology, finding female developers, having people on boards, having project managers. But what are the things that are less easy to see? Because, culturally, as humans, we pick up on a lot of subtle signals, and we're kind of trained by these signals, and often there's an unconscious bias. There's a bias that we're not really completely aware of. So where are the places that it's subtle? Where are the places in the NFT market that maybe there's an underlying message that we're not really aware of on a surface level, but it does affect our feeling of what we can and can't do?
I would say that language barriers. Most of the information about NFT space and all these blockchain is in English, and only a certain percentage of the world has knowledge and understanding of this information. So I would say one of the subtle things that we don't really think about, because we think, oh, everybody speaks English, but in reality is that most people that need this information don't have the tools or the time to learn the language to understand it. So I think creating more content explaining about the NFT space and how it's evolving in different languages is also one of those things that we can do to provide more knowledge to those who don't know how to speak their language.
Lower the barriers. What else?
So
I also, oh, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead, Evie.
For me, more in
Audrey,
that are subtle messages in regards to culture, and I've seen this come up in articles and stuff, is that what ultimately creates the bro culture, even though we're not aware that it's happening, is that it's who goes out for lunch together, who's going out for drinks together, who's saying, hey, when you have male CEOs just inviting male counterparts for lunch, and then ultimately they're that get promoted because they feel comfortable with them. So it's like they're promoting who they'd hang out with, as opposed to creating an inclusive culture and including everybody. And that's a subtle, and maybe also on the opposite side, maybe do we gravitate to who we're hanging out with, as opposed to thinking about who's the best in the role and filling roles.
So what would you do about that? What's the action you can take?
I think in a leadership role, it's to be conscious that could be happening, that if you're going out for lunch, invite everybody, right? Don't exclude one gender over the other, or create maybe a mentorship program for women or what have you. And I'm a big believer, and I hope that at some point it really comes down to who's the best person for the role. But I think we all gravitate to who we hang out with, as opposed to hiring who's best. Like, I like having somebody that will kind of push back on me. I don't want a yes person around me. So I try to be conscious of that, and to be more mature and less sensitive in regards to feedback, to surround myself with more constructive criticism and people that want to build, as opposed to if it's a girlfriend or a bro.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to challenge you and say that work gets done. We are all humans, right? And work gets done when we're focused, when we feel comfortable, when we feel creative, when we feel like we're free to think. And so I believe that often these decisions that may be made to hire a friend, or work with someone that we feel comfortable with has a valid basis, right? Because we want to be able to do our best work, and we can do our best work when we're comfortable, and so we want to work with people we're comfortable with. So it's not natural to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions, right? And so I guess I'm just challenging. There may be a good reason for going to lunch with somebody, because you know you can really move forward with that. And we're all, you know, in this industry, we're all building a lot, and not all very big companies. So is there something that we can do on our side to address that discomfort?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead. I can answer as well my way later.
No worries. I honestly, I think that, you know, to touch on what Audrey was stating is, I think a lot of times we struggle with just making the ask. Men are very quick to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm going with this, you know, and I love that as females, we're relationship builders, and I genuinely, I thrive in those areas. But I think that we need to get to a place where it's, this is what I'm doing, you know, I believe in what I'm building, and this is my ask, right? And just kind of get to the guts of the need, or the project, or, you know, the budget. You know, men go out on a you know, a golf outing, and they close multi-million-dollar deals. Women should be able to do the same thing, you know. And I think we overcomplicate thinking, oh, I need to take, you know, I need to take more time and build the relationship more. And I believe in that. And I believe that great relationships build great businesses. But I also believe that we need to just get to the nuts and bolts of what we need, what our ask is, because we're doing great things in this space, and we're building beautiful projects in this space. And, you know, it's an assertive approach with the intention of, you know, great business relationships, and building that. And so that's sort of a little bit of feedback there.
Mm-hmm. Great point. Learn golf. That's what I took from that. Elena, you had something.
Yeah, you know, I take a different approach on that, because, you know, we cannot make any man to call us for lunch, you know, or invite us for lunch. Like, and why would we want to do it? I you know, for example, I position myself the way that they invite me for lunch, and they beg me for that. And I don't depend on anyone. I build my organization my way. I believe in it. I go forward. I actually hire men to do that. And I hire men to go to the golf with other men and make a deals, but they do it, you know, on my terms. So that's the approach that I'm taking, and it's working, right? So we cannot sit and wait until we get invited or until we get included into the club. No, make your own club. And, you know, and so this approach works for sure. I can tell you. So instead of, you know, sitting and waiting, we will be doing.
Take charge.
Yeah, I love that, Elena. And I think that on the heels of what you're saying, it's exactly what I was stating. We don't need to wait around, but when we get in the room, right, tell them what you want. You know what I mean? And we should be doing that with one another as well. I think women, you know, wait.
And again, if they would like to go and golf, for example, I don't want to go golf. I don't want to go for lunch. Like, why do I want to do it? Yes, I would like to actually spend the time at home with my kids, and I organize my work the way that I actually do it. But at the same time, I also have a successful business that I hire men to go for lunch and do the things, right? So yeah.
Nice. Maria, what do you think about all of this?
Well, I think that we are shifting right now from a generation that back in the days was very constricted towards women, and I've always been very rebellious on this side, and I've never really let anyone, men or women, tell me what to do, because I feel like we're all individuals with our own interests and dreams and wants, but together in different ways. we can help each other to achieve those dreams and those goals, because all of us have different sets of abilities and skills that when we mix them together, they work out to make projects come true. So I feel like, yes, establishing good relationships with everybody around you makes it possible for everyone to have a good experience in the space, which at the end of the day, I feel like is the overall goal of this new system that has been created, to be more inclusive for everyone, but especially for women, because back in the days we did have a disadvantage where we were not allowed to have the same amount of information and resources that men did. But hopefully the first women that are being forward into the space can change that and can be an example for other girls and other women to do their own things and do their own projects. And I feel like that's the best thing. Become the best version of yourself and then be an example for others. And that way we can create more communities and the people that are working hard for their goals, no matter they're men or women. Like at the end, we'll help each other achieve our goals. And it's beautiful to have teams where men work and women working for men. I feel like that's wonderful. And I feel like it's cool to see that we have come to this world, like in this place, that we can be like, yes, you go and do this and make it happen, and I stay here and do what I want. Because at the end of the day, time is the most valuable asset that we have. It's the most valuable currency. You give your lunch and have the time to spend it however you want. I feel like for me that's the goal of freedom at the end of the day. Like what I do is to be able to enjoy time with my family or my friends and the people that I work with as well.
Great, thank you. I'm going to share an epiphany moment that I had recently. Actually, I will give credit where it's due. It was Tessie Moraine, the founder of L'Equality, who gave me this insight, and I really appreciated it. It goes along with what Maria was saying. So up until now, I'm building a company, and I've been thinking about hiring women developers and trying to find them. And most of the time I think about that in terms of like an intern. And Elena and I have worked together in the past about bringing on women interns so that those women can learn technology and move up in the ranks, because giving them a chance. But Tessie pointed out to me, she said, if you hire a junior woman developer and you have senior male developers, you're perpetuating that relationship where it's always unequal. There's always an imbalance. In order to correct that imbalance, you actually need to do what Elena has just very, very neatly explained to us, which is have a woman in charge. So if you can find a senior woman developer and then hire men to learn from her, that changes the dynamic significantly. And I have not been successful at finding a senior woman developer to hire yet, but it's still in my mind ever since Bessie said that. So I love what you said, Elena, because there is a different dynamic, I think, when we are in charge, because we can we are more inclusive, right? Generally, we are more inclusive. I don't think maybe men have a different perspective, but it doesn't seem to me that women exclude men from the party. It seems to me that women leaders tend to bring everybody in, and in this sort of consensus-driven or relationship-driven move forward. Do you guys agree with that? And if you could, I would challenge you to tell us from a man's perspective, what would the men in your circle want to say to women if they had a voice on this stage?
I think we should have invited men to answer this question from the men's perspective, because we're all women and we can only judge from the women's perspective. And like how I see the dynamics, for example, in my team, that between women and men, well, I mean, of course, they all, we would like to see them all equal, right? So, but in the nature, with the nature-wise, hormone-wise, brain-wise. We are a completely different species. We are not equal in that sense, and that's great because the life would stop the moment on the earth when we start being equal, right? So and then who's going to give birth, who's going to have kids, and then we're nurturing. We don't have that much, testosterone, and therefore we don't have that much ego as well, right? So the men's ego are driven by hormones. We have a different. We're all about love and about nurturing, and so the balance on the team is probably more important than who is in charge, right? So and it's also I'm a developer, and I progressed from a very, very junior developer to a senior developer in a Canadian government, right? So I worked for Edmonton Police for 20 years, and I was hired as it was not an intern position, of course, but I was probably one of the lowest ranks, right? So and then I progressed, and I cannot say that it was difficult for me to work with men, or I was undermined, or I was in any case put down. But I used my skills. I progressed forward. I became like the team leader. It didn't stop me from it, and it's actually had a lot that men were supportive. There was the right dynamics in the team where, if you put men and women in a team, there will be no wars, no testosterone, there will be nobody. I don't think this thing, I don't know, maybe I don't know all the cases, but it didn't exist in my team, in any of the teams that I worked, and I worked with a lot of men before. So it is a completely different dynamic. So I think we are looking for the problem somewhere where there's no problem. And Lisa, so probably, if you afraid to try, put intern women under, senior guy developer, maybe you should try and see, because just based on somebody else's fears that it's going to be bad, I don't think it's a valid point, right? So I did that. I hired intern women into guys' team, and our interns progressed so well. Women progressed so well. They do so much. They kind of they are the stars in our team. Yesterday I did a post for the March 8th for the Women's Day. I highlighted that all our women in our team, they are, the light, the heart, and the soul of the team. Without them, we would not be existing as a team. And it's all the question about the right dynamics in the team. Yeah. And that's actually the leader as well. As a leader, you can see what is happening, and maybe you can affect the dynamics within the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are a bright light, Elena. Thank you. Thank you for those thoughts.
I actually have a different view on the male-female dynamic. I think it's all stereotypes, and I've been raised, I have 4 brothers, so I was raised around boys, so I tend to work well with men, but I've been very well supported by men and some women. I've also been not by some female because they were all about them. So I find in my history and my work experience, people have different female stereo characteristics, and I've worked with men with female characteristics. I think it's it's how we could go into a whole discussion on how we're raised and how we tend to be nurturers and how we tend to raise men and gender type our kids, which is a whole other character and trait. Good leader can set and what support that the rock stars that they are, and I think that's what makes it good. Looking at each personally and what they need from you emotionally, physically, in regards to tools and to make them successful, instead of it, I get sick.
Right. That's the kind of leader I aspire to be as well.
I
Yes.
do. Can you hear me
Okay.
better now? Sorry about that.
Yes.
I will from a place of, is what builds great teams, and continue to be able to empathize with your employees and your partners. And I know everyone that's been on a founding team or worked close to founders. I mean, you know how to, if you're really leading, right, you know how to sweep the floors and you know how to sit at the board table. And yeah, I just, in a team are working with men and both mixed, all this stuff, servant leadership, and amidst those moments and understanding for where your employee is or where your partner is, their needs are. It's what, grows great teams, continues to facilitate great relationships, and heightens morale amidst your colleagues and your partners and your employees and fellow founders, etc.
Amazing. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the metaverse. It's a new social construct. Are there things that the metaverse offers us where we can create a better atmosphere for inclusion or empowerment, or curiosity, as Maria was saying, just an environment to learn? Specifically, how can the metaverse give us these opportunities to change the world?
Well, one of the things that the metaverse offers is that time and space, which all of us can be at the same time in different spaces. So even right now, we're kind of hanging out in the metaverse, and we're all in different spaces of the world, but we're still here and communicating. So I feel like making these hangout spots really cool and interactive in a way for the audience as well is one of the things that can be like fun for people to come to these spaces and learn from what's going on or what's happening in the NFT world or the metaverse. But I feel like that we've always been in the metaverse, but we're just realizing it right now. Like any social media that you have, it's like being in the metaverse because your body is in the real world, but your mind is in whatever you're looking through the screen. So we have been interactive in the metaverse for a while. We're just now conscious of what can we create in these spaces to make it more fun and to build something together.
Awesome. Audrey, do you have some comments on that?
I'm still waiting to see how that's going to play out. I think that's an unknown, right? And I think it's great that Web3 will allow, augmented reality and, those sorts of things that bring us together collectively in regards to gender and equality. I don't know if it's like an equalizing. Is it any different than Web 2 or our current physical living situation, right? It might bring more access to economies and stuff for women in emerging markets, women everywhere, content creators everywhere. Is it an equalizer? I guess that's to be determined, right?
Right, good point. Yeah, it does definitely lower the barriers geographically. Elena or Evie, do you have comments? Thoughts that metaverse will change our world?
Yeah, of course, because now it's all available, doesn't matter where in the world you are, you just have to have an internet and then boom, you're there, right? And you, instead of being kind of a man or woman, right? So then, like we concern today, it's gender gap. You just a picture on the screen, basically, and then it become probably easier that way. I'm not sure if it's good or bad though, right? So maybe the dynamic that we have now, like when we have the gender, split and gap, it's better than it will be in metaverse, but we're yet to see. So let's actually see and check and how it is, like whether we will have same gender gap there in the metaverse, or mimicking the world, or it actually solves the problem once we just the pictures on the screen.
Yeah, I want to just dive in a little bit more with you, Elena, because it's been said that DAOs have the potential to remove the gender gap entirely because it's really contribution based. A decentralized autonomous organization you can contribute to it anonymously. So you have a handle, but you don't have to tell anybody if you're a man or a woman, if you're old or young, if you're experienced or not. It's really based on your contribution. Do you think that that this is a valuable thing? And do you think this is really going to change the way that work is done?
Well, we're probably going to see more transparently whether the reasons that we put ourselves, I mean, like we say, like probably I am not succeeding because I'm a woman, if this is actually a reason. So we're going to see it more clearly there, right? Because as you say, there's no gender. You don't need to specify your gender or anything like that. And you will be accepted only for your actions on the platform. So it's going to be very clear, but maybe the whole story that we made up that, we women are not get invited, or we're not getting into the boys club just because we're women. Maybe this is not a valid reason. Maybe we just not included for any, for our actions.
Interesting.
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? But it's going to be a great way to see.
Yeah. So you're saying for some people it might take away the excuse.
Oh yeah, of course. People do make excuses, right? So like they tend to, and I'm not saying they, it's like me, us, like I tend to probably blame somebody else for something that I've not succeeded because it's easier. Yeah, you never blame yourself for that. Like I am not good enough. I'm not dedicated enough. I don't put enough time. So it's hard to say when I say like, what, they just didn't include me.
You have any comments on this topic?
Yeah, I think that both of what my fellow panelists were speaking of is very relevant. I do think it's TBD. We're at the infancy, and so I believe that we're going to see as we've seen with organizations and companies that are popping up that are, female-led, female-founded. I think that creating those communities and the crossover, I mean, we're going to see that grow. I also think there's an initiative for us to step in moments of infancy and where we're at in the industry to continue to keep the gap, tight. And so, yeah, I think that
great.
We'll see.
That's a great segue to the question that I would like to finish with, which is, what would you tell women? What would you say to encourage women to step in the infancy of some of these projects, whether they're DAOs or whether it's NFT platforms or creating or the metaverse? There's a lot of stuff happening in this space, and I would personally love to see this be an opportunity for more women. I know so many smart women, but I do know also women who are afraid of this space. So what would you say, what words of wisdom would you share with them to encourage people in the audience who might not otherwise take the risk of joining this space? What wisdom advice would you give them? Go ahead, Evan.
Okay, so I just wanted to invite the people that are right now in watching us and hearing us, that if you guys want to do any collaborations, if you guys have any questions, if you want to do a session together, if you want to speak in a panel like this, please reach out to us. We would love to have you we would love to hear what your ideas and thoughts are. So don't be shy. This is, I feel like, one of the ways that we can integrate you guys into what we're doing, into our next conversations, into our next panels. Um, so yeah, for me, that would be a way. Like, if you're out there, if you're looking at these and if you want to be a part of it, let's collab, let's do something together, let's put your project out there, let's talk about it. Amazing.
Yeah, I think on what Maria was saying, you know, find a community. I think everyone on this panel can agree that, like, we're very open. My LinkedIn is open. I'm always reading my messages. I'm very, as far as questions and or interest or looking for groups like a Crypto Chicks or Crypto Connect, which, you know, we have with Crypto Connect, we're about to have, I think it's close to, now we're increasing to about 20 chapters throughout the US and major cities, you know, and it's a meetup group and education, resources, jobs. And so reach out, you know. Community is so important, and I know that the females in this industry were so keen on bringing more in, and being able to kind of lay it out in layman's terms on how to get involved.
Thank you. Thanks, Evie.
Yeah, I agree. If you're an artist and you're interested in art and that's your niche, then reach out to people that are doing NFTs and art. Like, the community is very supportive, like the other women have said. And actually, it's the community that got me addicted to the space. The supportive nature of the women in the space for me was incredible and unseen in my whole career. If you're in tech, right, go to some tech meetups in the space, and I think it's so, and because of NFTs and the whole explosion behind them, there are so many niche markets popping up. So whatever your real world, as we say, real world, right? Whatever that is, you can find your corresponding niche in the Web3 world, in meetups, in local coffee shops or whatever.
Elena, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes. So, ladies, if you would like to get started in the community, yes, I'm inviting you to, contact me, please. You can contact me at, actually, you can send the email to stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca. If you would like to get a position at CryptoChicks or become an intern or become an employee, actually the paid employee as well. So we will have the opportunities right now, and I'm really, really, really keen on hiring women and working with women, because I really enjoy, how the women that in CryptoChicks and the meeties that we hired, how they work, and I'm looking forward to hire more. And we have right now opening a new program that will allow us to do that. So please contact me for that if you're looking for a place to start. Doesn't matter what your kind of specialty or profession is. Let's talk and see how we can maybe fit you in.
Amazing. And I would extend the same invitation for Fluidify. We're in the middle of a fundraise, but once that is done, I really would like to expand our team to more women. So I invite you to email us at contact@fluidify.com if you're, it's fluid, so FLUIDEFI, Fluidify. If you're interested in the crypto space, in the DeFi space, and you want to participate, please get in touch. We would love to have a larger team of women to work with as well. We are going to move to the gallery now, and Maria's work. So Maria Tokariva, has created some artwork. It's in our gallery. And when you go to the gallery, if you click on the pictures will get bigger, so you can actually follow the links to find out more. And we'll do a Q&A with all of our speakers. Unfortunately, Evie had to leave. She had something else that came up, but our other speakers will be there in the gallery. And when you come in, we're just going to ask you to, you'll be entering the room, and if you could leave the stage for the speakers, then when you have questions, everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions. And Maria can talk to us some more about her collection, the idea behind it, and what inspired her. So to get to the gallery, you click on the menu, and you should find the room there on the menu in this room. Is that right, Ina?
Yeah, that's correct. Give us just a moment. My colleague is opening the gallery right away, and then everybody will receive a notification, or you can access the gallery from the menu by clicking on the first button that you see on the bottom, and you will see the gallery room right there shortly.
Okay, great. So in a moment, we'll move to the gallery. Ladies, do you have any other final comments while we're moving to the gallery? Audrey or Maria? Oh, just Maria.
Well, I would it's information, it's inclusion. So that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to make it very fun and very unique. And so each one of the characters have different color hair. It has fashion outfits as well, because I've always wanted to be a fashion designer. So it's kind of like my way of showing different designs I get now through the digital world, which is very fun. And yeah, I just wanted to remind people that if you really want to, you can create your life, and you do that by believing in yourself.
We're having a bit of trouble hearing you, Maria.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. So in order to make your dreams come true, you have to believe in yourself, and that's the first thing. To create something, to share it with other people, you have to believe that you can make it, and to do that, to do the action, to actually do it every single day, to talk about it, to spread the message. Can you guys hear me?
So, yeah, we can hear you. So I'm inviting everybody in here in the gallery and who's in the audience. You can ask questions about everything that we talked about during the panel as well. This is our open forum to ask questions about all of these things about the gender gap. And I see we have someone near the front. Do you have a question? Who is that? Casey. Do you have a question, Casey? Yeah, go ahead. I think you're still muted, Casey. You're in the right area, but I think you might. Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was actually talking with the mic off. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say thank you for this event. Yeah, it's actually my first time being in this virtual event on Connect.Club. So yeah, I learned a lot from this, and I just wanted to thank you all, yeah, for being here and hosting this space for us. Yeah, that's
amazing.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. I have a question for you, Maria. Do you have a favorite piece?
I do. Right now, so they change because like my feelings and my moods, they all change. But right now, it's the bottom one to the right, the one that says "Love is real," and it's this girl like doing a bubble with the bubble gum, and she's wearing this dress that was inspired in a woman that I actually met in real life who was wearing this dress. It's by Jackie Moss, and she was so happy, and she was just so feminine when I got together with her. So I said, you know what, I want to recreate this moment and the happiness it brought her to wear this dress. So I made it into this character, and I put a message with her that says "Love is real," because she kind of like reminded me of that playful side of yourself. So that is my favorite piece.
Thank you, Maria. People seem to be clustered around the bottom two pieces, and I'm wondering if that's because people are looking at those two pieces in the middle at the bottom there. Anyone want to comment on the art? Yeah, Audrey, you have a question. think people are just enjoying your art, Maria.
Well, you guys feel free to walk around if you guys want to hop in and join our conversation or to say anything or, you know, give us an idea or a suggestion for how can we make this experience better for you guys.
I do have a question because I see that Joy has an avatar that looks a lot like your art, and I'm wondering, do you also do avatars?
Oh my God, where is Joy? Yes, she is one of our biggest supporters, friends, most amazing soul that I have met through the NFT space. And she in her avatar is one of the Miss Fair girls from one of our collections that kind of like reminds me of her. Is this cute girl with purple eyes, and like just the way that she is reminded me, this particular one reminded me of her, and she has it through all her social medias, and it's incredible. But just because of her support and her doing that for us and believing in our project, a lot of different people have found our project through her. And one of the things was I was invited to do a crypto interview show podcast with a person who was looking for us and was able to find us through her. His name is Adam, and we have a really interesting podcast with him. So I would say one of the things to support other projects and other women in this space would be to showcase their works through the profile pictures and the avatars, because it does really work. And she also shared a very beautiful post about our project in her LinkedIn, which also gave us a lot of feedback and a lot of people interested in our project. I think the social media.
I think she may have left the room. I don't see her anymore. But Joy, if you're here, feel free to come up to the stage and comment on your experience with the art.
By the way, yeah, I saw she left. I'm part of the team of Miss Ray's collection, so I just wanted to say that right now we are actually, like, since we talked about Joy and she left, but also we want to announce and to share with you that we want to start our like ladies meetups, like ladies in NFT meetups every week, like me, Marie, and Joy. And like these days we're discussing the right day and the right name for it, but it's gonna be here in Connect.Club, and it's gonna be like weekly meetings, and it's gonna be like co-hosting events of 3 of us and one like invited speaker every time.
Jonathan, I see that you're near the stage. Did you have a question or a comment? Anyone who would like to ask a question, feel free to come up to the stage. You just have to go up where the microphone is, near the couches at the top of the screen. If you move into that area, you'll be able to speak.
Is there an option here for people to ask their questions via a chat?
I will take this question, Maria. At the moment, we don't have a chat option. We were thinking to implement it later. So probably in a couple of months or a year, we will have it, but we just need to think how to make it better. Probably, yes, it would solve a problem if some people are shy to come on the stage and ask their question. Probably it will be helpful to have it.
Yeah, like general chat, because same kind of thing in our email the other day, but we got like maybe like 7-8 questions for people to ask and interact a little bit more, because maybe somebody they're just listening in or they cannot speak, but they would like to ask the question. So I guess for the future that would be a really cool tool to have.
Yep, and we have some more people up by the stage. feel free to come onto the stage and ask your questions. We'll keep it open for another minute or two, and then we'll allow you to enjoy the artwork at your own leisure. Is that Casey? Casey's back on the stage.
Hi. Yeah, I actually did have a question. How many pieces are there in total? Is it just the ones that are being shown here?
This is the piece collection 59, and the second collection that we're launching will be 999.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a lot.
That's
Great.
so cool.
I see that you also are launching a project. Is your launch today?
Yeah, I launched it yesterday actually. So if you see my profile pic, that's actually the main avatar for the collection. Yeah.
Nice.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about it? I would love to hear.
Oh, okay. Sure. I wasn't expecting to talk about it. But yeah, so basically the collection is called Looks, and it's a 2D generative collection where it pretty much celebrates diversity and inclusion. And so for me being from Southeast Asia, me being Asian myself, yeah, I was thinking of, basically shaping the Web3 space to be more inclusive in terms of, making it more diverse. And yeah, it's also owned by me too. So it's women-led. Yeah, and if you want to know more about it, and you can start minting it actually, but yeah, if you'd like to know more about it, you can join my Discord. It's actually on my profile. I think if you click on it, the link should be there. Yeah, that's all so far I can say. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
we're
thank you,
definitely checking it out. So yeah,
It's
this is one of the
generative,
things that we can do that to include more women in the space. Like when we have these conversations, we can let people from the audience also join and share what they're collaborating and doing. So thank you so much, Casey, for sharing with us your project.
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's really cool to be here. It's been cool to be in a room full of a lot of women. It's really inspiring.
And we hope to have more and more of these conversations and more people joining, because nowadays it's like we have no limits of space and time. We can all come together into a room like this and create more fun interactions between us and empower each other. And I just want to create these moments where women feel safe and free to speak about what they're doing, and to know that we will support each other. At the end of the day, that's how the community grows, like, because each individual would have different projects in life, but it's just a way for us to get to know each other and support each other.
Yeah, I do agree. Absolutely.
Elena, do you have any questions about the art or comments?
I don't. It's a beautiful art, though. Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up, and feel free to stay in the gallery as long as you like. Just a quick reminder to join the Discord. Ina is to my left, well, to the left of me, near the stage. Her profile has the Discord link, so feel free to join that. And we look forward to speaking with you next week at the same time at our next panel.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much
for joining.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for leading that, and thank you, ladies, for providing this amazing platform. And congratulations on your art. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Same. Thanks, Elena. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you, guys.
For those
Bye.
who wants to stay here and enjoy the pictures, go ahead, please. And the rest of you, I'll see you next week.